On a hot day in Mesa, Arizona, a 65-year-old cancer survivor named Dee McDonald sits quietly and watches her 3 teenage grandsons eat. She's only 69 pounds, and she's been skipping meals ever since she lost her food stamp benefits, even though she still qualifies for the program. This isn't an isolated story, it's part of a huge wave of people losing Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, benefits in Arizona, a state that has seen its rolls drop by about half in less than a year. The root of the problem is a federal law championed by President Trump last year that places steep penalties on states that make too many mistakes when awarding food world. The penalties are so large that Arizona officials said if they didn't change the way they process applications, it could bring the program to a halt. To avoid those costs, Arizona increased the paperwork required of applicants and cut the staff that actually reviews it. The result? The program has become bureaucratic chaos. It can take months just to get a caseworker's attention, and sometimes people with panhandling income are asked to prove that the money comes from random strangers dropping cash in their jars. In short, many people are stuck in a system that is moving toward them, not helping them. Mounting consequences have hit real families. Kiana Barroso, 29, is a mother of 6. When she lost her SNAP benefits, she took a job at a restaurant to get meals for herself and her kids. There were days we had to skip lunch, but we'd never go a day without food, she says, and she's now back on the program but still juggling the cost of feeding a big household. Jonathan Fleming, 48, has fought a lymphatic disease that keeps him from working. After losing aid, he moved to Phoenix to live with his father. A judge rejected the state's claim that he failed to file a required form, but his attempts to re-enroll in SNAP have been unsuccessful. Even those with unique challenges, like Melissa Klaman, a deaf mother of 5, have found the system overwhelmed. She has to call the office with a sign language interpreter on screen, and after 8 months she's still waiting for aid while a 20-year-old daughter sells blood plasma to pay their bills. And the spike in food bank use has reflected the crisis. Volunteers are already busy packing shelves at St. Mary's Food Bank in Surprise, Arizona, a suburb of Phoenix, as monthly visits have, for the first time, exceeded SNAP enrollment numbers. Food banks, private charities that provide essential staples, are more than ever the lifeline for those whose states have failed to deliver. Arizona is not the only state facing similar challenges, but its action gives the rest of the country a clear warning. The new rules may soon spur other states to tighten their own procedures, potentially repeating Arizona's collapse of half its rolls. That prospect could make food stamps adjustable for rigorous? Well, the question on many people's minds. The pandemic has already stretched public assistance thin, and as the federal program pushes to tighten its own safety net snugly, Arizona's unprecedented loss of 440,000 aid recipients reflects a broader national concern. More families would need to decide whether to skip meals, pay rent late, or turn to charities. The story of a 65-year-old survivor, a mother of 6, a terminal disease patient, a deaf mother, and a 20-year-old plasma donor paints a vivid picture that no policy can ignore. It's a community wrangled by paperwork that now struggles to find its footing, speedily finding a way out of the paperwork maze or risk it. We'll keep tracking how Arizona's approach is influencing other states and what new rules could do for the next food stamp recipients. If you want more detail on how federal policy affects people on the ground, stick with us, you're about to hear all the story. That's all for today's episode. We'll keep you updated on what's happening next around food stamp policy in the U.S. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk again soon.